Yeah, guys, they fucking shadow banning me. They're shadow banning me, and I feel like that my channel's being watched. Like there's certain people that are watching my shit, and like, cause I be seeing the numbers and shit, and like you guys don't see what I see. And then like I take what I see and I kind of feel certain ways because like I use my common sense and my intuition to tell me what's going this so I can see what's going on, and what I'm feeling of what's going on based upon what I'm observing is like there's people watching my channel and they don't like my channel and they're shadow banning me. It's not just my channel. Is pretty much anybody who's speaking certain things, they monitor their channel. So they'll even some of the numbers, like when you guys see my views, you can't really believe what you see. Like you may see 150 views on more, that video could have got more views. Because at the end of the day, you're looking at a number. They can change the number, they can manipulate the number, and you wouldn't know. So this is what they're doing. Because I'll be going on my live streams, and then I'll have like one person watching my shit, and then as soon as I start talking about something else, it'll be like four or three people in the room. It's like there was already four or three people in the room, but they were like blocking the number or some shit. And then when I started speaking about something, then they'll make it. But then when I started doing some other shit, because I tested it, and that's what it was. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm thinking maybe it could be synchronicity, but I've done it so many times, and I see so many things that it ain't no synchronicity. Like there's individuals watching this shit because they're trying to keep YouTube on lock. They're trying to make it like just like you could not, just like they don't cast everybody to be in a in a Disney movie or in a Disney show or a television show or something they're showing on Fox News, or they don't cast everybody. They have the anchorman, they have the actor, they hire specific people that fit that pass the audition. So with YouTube, it's the same thing. It's an audition, and if you pass the audition, then they'll put you in the algorithm to make you go viral. I'm not saying this is the only way to go viral. You can do it on your own, but majority of, like, I would say over 90%, probably 95% of the people that you see are viral, they were helped and they were pushed algorithmically by these Jews and these Masons. They were pushed. 90 to 95% of people you see. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. 90 to 95%, because when you look at all the people, because one thing I'm realizing is I will see. I don't like. I want to. I did my observations in a way so it can not look like I'm being biased. Because it's hard to really explain this without some stupid bitch ass nigga. Oh, you're just hating. You're like, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Ain't nobody fucking hating you, dumbass. I'm actually, if you listen to what the fuck I'm saying, I'll tell you. You'll see. I see people that have 1 million subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, and I will compare them with other people with 500,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. So you can't say I'm fucking hating, because if I'm comparing two big YouTubers, that's not fucking hating. And I'm telling you, this happening to me on a small level, and I see this happening to small YouTubers. So it's not me fucking hating. I'm telling you what the fuck I know. So what's going on is that if if you're promoting a certain agenda, it could be, let's just say you're talking about anything. It has nothing to do with the agenda or you causing them any problems with their agenda. Then depending on how you're talking about it and depending on how you look and how you act and carry yourself, you have to have a Masonic type of imagery that you're projecting. Then that will boost you. If your name has something to do with their programs and systems, they will boost you. This is why you'll see people like that are like in the spiritual community, and then they have a certain like fakeness to them, and then they'll be pushed to the top. And then you'll see a bunch of dumbass people that come after them, try to copy them, and then they don't get any views. And it's like, you idiot. There's no blueprint to go viral, dumbass. It's part of it is the work you put out and the content, and a major part of it is who they choose. And they choose you based upon how you convey your message. And it's not even just about if you're speaking bullshit. Because they need some people to speak truth, but it has to be a squared out truth. It can't be the circle truth with the limitless possibility. It has to be squared out. So because they need people to speak on something, because if they block everybody, it's got to be like, okay, that is obvious. So what it is that they allow certain people who speak the spiritual shit, who have a certain type of name if it has something to do with masonry or some program or symbolism, and then they talk and act a certain way, then they'll algorithmically push them. If they start talking about religion and mixing it with spirituality, that's a plus. They'll push you even more. And once you get these subscribers and you get these views, they're not yours. And if you don't believe me, look at Young Pharaoh. How in the fuck did this nigga Young Pharaoh go from getting 6-figure views, 300,000, 100,000, 80, 90,000 in his heyday? And he even got 1 million views on one video. But look at this nigga now. He can't even get over 10,000 barely. And he has a channel called Young Pharaoh. He can't even get over 10,000 subscribers. So they're playing something in the algorithms in the back. And I was gonna say something, but I don't want to say it and put any ideas out there because I don't know who's watching my shit. So I'm not gonna say that. But they put a lot of things like they're fucking with this shit. That's all you niggas need to know. They're fucking with this shit. You can see examples of this. Cali Muscle, that's another individual. Cali Muscle, that nigga has over 3 million subscribers. Look at that nigga's channel now. All that nigga talks about is fasting, eating watermelon, no food, no water, bettering yourself. And this nigga can't even get 20, 30, 40,000 views on a fucking video. But he got 3 million subscribers. And then you'll see other people with 1 million subscribers, which is 2 million less than fucking 3 million. And then they'll get 100,000, 1 million views. And I'm like, this shit is so fucking... And when you look at the views, and then you may say, oh, because they don't like his content. That's bullshit, because when you look at his mukbang videos, you know the mukbang when you eat a whole bunch of bullshit? When you look at those videos, they're getting millions of views, like 2 million, 3 million. And he's just sitting there eating fucking garbage, being a fucking dumbass. And that they were promoting that. But when he started eating healthy and fasting, then you notice there's a lot of trolls on his page talking shit, talking about, oh, he's not fasting and he's gonna die and all this other shit. And then it like I said, there's a lot of witchcraft going on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to explain to you niggas. There's a lot of witchcraft going on here. And if you think that YouTube is just something or the internet is something you can just get in and be successful, you're a dumb fuck. There's a lot of gatekeepers. There's a lot of motherfucking programs and witchcraft that you have to break through and or be on a spiritual mission that's strong enough to break through that shit for you. If you're not on it, then you can't really fuck with this shit. This is why, because just think about it. It's so funny. I'll see a lot of people like just regular dumbass bots and sheep. And then in their conversations will be like, you see this kid, he made millions on TikTok. And you see this dude on YouTube, they're making a living off YouTube. And then they'll talk about it like they'll speak on it like this is the new age that we're in, that everyone can do this. But in my mind, I'm like, it's 2023. Why haven't you done it now? Why are you still working that job and shit? And everybody talks like they want to do that. But it's like I said, there's a lot of witchcraft going on all levels to keep people from really going to that level. Not just because of the money thing. It's because they don't want to. They have to keep society structured and organized in a specific way. They have to be keep society structured in a specific way. And if there's so many people talking like me, it's gonna tear down the system. They got you niggas thinking we got to go out to the White House and we got to tear down the building. That's not what it is. In order to create and change any system, you have to change the mentality of the majority of the people in it. Before you create or tear down any system, you have to change the mentality. It's a mental game. Once you do that, then the physical will take place. So what they need to do is they got to constrict and they got to confine anybody who's talking. It doesn't even have to be truth. Like you guys think, oh, the truth. It's not even have to be truth. Truth is an attack, but sometimes when you spark your own energy and you're just different than the system, that's enough to tear this shit down, because one thing will lead to another, and then eventually the truth will be found, because you're not going by the status quo and the programs they have set up, because they have these programs set up for a reason. You niggas need to understand that. And when you start making videos like this, you're tearing all of this shit down. Like a lot of people who watch my pages, they talk about how I helped them. I helped them through healing. They healed their diseases. Some dude said he healed his cancer from my videos because he was fasting and he took the Still by Pro and all the other herbs I told. He healed his cancer. Other people, they quit their fucking job. They don't fucking feel like working no more and shit. And then they're able to do their own, like if my type of videos was the norm, the system will fucking crumble, or it will put a dent into the system, and the system will lose energy, and there'll be a lot of money being lost, a lot of taxes being like all of it is connected. So like they need to keep people on a mind frame. This is why they have all these programs like Donald Trump in jail and Palestine and these kidnapped children, all this stupid bullshit no one really gives a fuck about. Like we don't give a fuck about that shit, nigga. You have to put that shit out there because you gotta keep people distracted, because you guys gotta be like, oh, it's like with the government, it's funny because they give you guys the perception that they got the first dibs. That like it's like they'll say, oh, aliens, the government is disclosing information about aliens. But if I'm in reality, like you're in reality, why do you get why do you get all the scoop? Why do we got to come to you for the scoop? Why can't we go get our own scoop? So it's hella weird how they keep making all like, that's what you can tell us a distraction, because like, why do you want us to pay attention? If you own the system and you have all, you can print money and you have all the resources, and you tell us that's what's supposed to make you happy, shouldn't you be happy? Why do you want us to pay attention to Palestine and all this shit? So obviously something is going on behind closed doors you don't want people to know, and it's like it's kind of putting them in fear. So they got to keep like, because I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like why don't you just let people speak? Why you guys let people do? Why you guys gotta always do Trump's in jail, and we already know that nigga works for you niggas. So like, who cares? Like it's like they want to take your attention away from something that's important. He said, bro, time went by so fucking fast today. Yeah, it did. It's got to keep speeding up. It's got to keep speeding up, especially as we go on to this next year, 2024. Time is going to be going very fast. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. This is the best time ever to get on your shit, to fast, to heal, to give up any desires and shit. It's the best time because the day goes by quick. So now you can get shit done even quicker, because we're in a time where everything's energetic. So if you want to manifest, or I hate that fucking word, but if you want to get what's owed to you, which is already you, then you gotta get into that energy. Yep. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Mooney Murphy. Shout out to Jay Vass. Shout out to Drowning Ground. What's good with it? Mooney Mercury said, you right, they manipulating numbers, and there's bots. There's also a mix of humans. And right now, I'm gonna get your question, but I just seen it says one person in here right now, but I know there's more than one person. I just want to let you guys know that. Mixing human just wanted to hear the real shit too when it comes to low numbers. It is, but like I don't, what I think is that our content sells itself. If you put our content, Mooney Mercury, my channel, just the people you see that you fuck with, and you put it in front of millions of people and let the people decide, there's going to be a lot of engagement with your content. I know that for a fact. Don't believe me? Why is it on TikTok you can get more views easier than YouTube? The reason why is because that's a different algorithm. They're not so stringent on the TikTok algorithm. Hence, coincidentally, TikTok pays you less on average than fucking YouTube and Instagram and shit. They pay you like the least, TikTok, out of compared to YouTube. But why is it's so easy to go viral on TikTok? Because it's a different algorithm. If they brought that algorithm to YouTube, it would change the whole ball game, and they don't want that, so they're not gonna do that shit. And then they be also doing shit by like every update, they be changing the icons and the buttons and the format and the look. They do that shit to fuck with the old people. Part of the reason is to fuck with because the old people, they don't really know technology and they have to get to learn it. So every now and then they'll update this shit to fucking change the shit so it can make the old people not really have to learn it all over again. Like they be doing a lot of fucked up shit on here, even with the Facebook messengers and the fucking the text message. Why, when I send a message, I can't get it? I can't take that message back before they respond and read it. Why can't I get an email back? You know how many people lost millions of dollars and how many people got divorced, got killed because they sent an email they couldn't get back? These bastards they ain't playing. These niggas is fucked up. So you already know they're playing a lot of mind control. This is why I don't add any family member to social media, because when I add family members to social media, it will damage that relationship. So I don't add no family members unless I have a business social media. Like I move around social media in a certain way. I don't really do what most people do. Like only time I add a family member on social media is if I have a business or I have something I'm doing. Otherwise, I don't add them because I'm not trying to fuck up a relationship, because you can't control what people think. Because everyone's mind controlling. The mind control runs extremely deep, and they're trying to keep this shit constricted. And since Saturn's in Pisces, a lot of people are fucking lost in their mind control twice as much. Like people are, I don't even think people are going to get out of it, because the Saturn in Pisces is doing a number on people. And then once Saturn goes into Aries, it's going to be the collapse of the system. So when I say collapse, I'm not saying like, oh, like obviously it's orchestrated and they're controlling it, but they're going to start tearing down a lot of shit, because in Aries, when Saturn goes into Aries, it's like it's not a good time for the United States. And since the United States controls a lot of and when I say that, when, yeah, because that energy Aries is not really good with when Saturn's in it when it comes to the United States. So once with Saturn gets into Aries, you're gonna see a lot of shit getting torn the fuck down, and a lot of shit getting more like it's just gonna start hitting the fan. That's when it's gonna start. Is Saturn in Aries, and once it gets into Taurus, that's when it's gonna be some real like shit having to do with like resource houses, and people probably like a lot more economic issues. But like I said, none of this shit has to happen. The only reason this is gonna happen is because people just choose for it to happen, because people don't want to wake up. So technically, it's like when you don't do the shadow work, it comes back to bite you in the ass. The people of this, the collective of this country, whatever you're gonna call it, have shadow work. And if nobody does what they're supposed to do and wake up collectively, then you're gonna meet the negativity of what they're gonna fucking do. See, they don't want information like this coming out. Not it's not like, and not even truthful information. It could be just information of you just speaking, sparking your own energy and your own vibe. Depending on what type of vibe and energy, they don't even want that. So you can not even really be saying anything 100% truthful, but just how you come across and how you attack certain shit, it's in a different way than they do it. Even how I'm explaining this, like because you got to go deep into what the fuck's going on. There's a lot of mind control they have. And a lot of people they don't want to hear. A lot of people don't want to hear the fucking shit. Like, but I at this point right now, like I don't even waste my time. I don't remember the last time I spoke spiritual to somebody, even family member. Because I used to talk to this shit to family member all the time, but I don't even mention it no more, because I see them how they're reverting backwards. And I notice, like when you can speak spiritual to somebody all you want, but when stress hits them, then they're going to revert back to the program to their core programming. So that's how you can know if a person is real or not, is put them through a lot of stress. Because I'll be like talking to my family members about spirituality, and they'll be like agreeing with me 100%, and even will like say certain shit and make me think, okay, this person's awake. But then they'll go through a trying situation and me praying to God or some shit, or thank God, or even when I see some of these people out here, there's something good what happened in their life, and they'll be like, thank God, or God is good, or God is there. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like that shows you the program, and they'll be scared and they'll be praying. Like my relative in my family was like, they had a dream and they were scared and they started saying Hail Mary or some fucking religious prayer or some bullshit. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, are you serious? So that tells you how deep this program is bonded through trauma. The mind control that they have is, but like a lot of these people who believed in this whole bullshit pandemic shit, a lot of the reason was because people's family members passed from that, and then they got bonded through trauma and then other mind control, and then it hooked them because they have weak ass spirit. They don't have a strong mind, so they let the trauma override their judgment. So which you can't fucking do that. And then that's how people are programmed. That's why it's hard to break a programming. And then on the surface, a person will be like, oh, I'm good. I don't believe in it. And you talk to your family members, your friend, and they agree with you. But when it comes down to it, like, didn't I just tell this fucking idiot? And why are you doing the opposite of what you just said? You just, not me, but what you just said you were going to do. You're doing the opposite of it. You just fucking lied on yourself, or you contradicted yourself. And I'm like, what's going on? But it's weird, man. The mind control runs extremely deep. You guys got to understand, like, you can't look at it like this. You can't go to somebody and think that your little conversation is going to unravel 30, 40, 50 years of programming in like a 15-minute or even 2 weeks of you talking to them. It's not going to make, it was not going to work because it's so much programming. Just like when you're fasting, you're healing. It takes time to heal because your organs were beaten up all these years. When you fast, you got to fast for, that's why they say do 21, do 40 days, because around 40 days is when you really cleanse up everything on a core level. But obviously there's more depending on how sick you are, but you got to, it takes time to cleanse it. So you can't expect to wake somebody up through programming. Like that's just going to be a lost cause. You got to get frustrated and they got to go revert back because they got to do it themselves. And at this point, it's like with time accelerating, speeding up, and the world changing, because they're going to be getting rid of a lot of these jobs and shit. And it's going to be a lot of like a pretty much be a free for all. So once that happens and people have to like govern themselves in a way and make their own situation, then it's going to drive people even to more into the programming and not doing the work they need to do. Because when you do the shadow work, what people don't understand is if you were a sheep and you didn't do the shadow work, don't think you can just wake up and start getting this information and don't expect to go through hell. Whatever energy you put into that being a sheep, you're going to have to pay all that karma and that energy back. We all do. This is why some of you guys going through the shit. We all go through shit. It's because even when you're on the path, you got to go through the dark night of the soul. That's the dark night of the soul is you paying for all the times you were lost in your bullshit. So when these sheep get on the shadow work, they're going to be going through dark nights of the soul as a result of what they were been through. And depending on how long they were a sheep is how intense and long it's going to be. And then it's just, it's going to have a lot of these weak-minded sheep not even wanting to do the work. So it's like you really can't even help these people. Like I look at it like even if the government were to like release their fucking like release and make it everything better, the sheep will still be sheep because you have to actually work in this reality and do what you got to do. You can never just have fun and relax for forever. And that's what people want in this life, just to have fun and relax. That's what they programmed everyone through, like Disney and like the whole even the Hollywood movie, how the good guy always wins or some shit, or like all this happy-go-lucky, like because they program people that life is about being in their desires. And then now when people can't get that, even you can give them the world, they gotta just fuck it up. That's what I'm saying. They gotta fuck it up. Like the example, this one, the payee guy, the mentally disturbed dude that he's allowing me to, he wanted me to be his payee, whatever. I'm still cool with him and whatever, but he was all calling me, talking about he needs me to go fucking steal him a fucking tent or whatever because he's hella cold and he doesn't want to sleep outside and shit. And I'm like, first of all, he gets kicked out of every place he goes. He always gets kicked out because he doesn't have social cues. So he'll get kicked out and get in a fight. And I used to think it was people just fucking with him. But when you talk to him, he be kind of disrespectful, but he doesn't know because his social engagement and cues aren't normal. So he'll be getting kicked out and be disrespecting people and just. And then, but he's cool with me for some reason. I don't know. Like he's cool with me. He don't get disrespectful, even though if he does, I'd be like, but he's cool with me for he don't get disrespectful really. But the funny thing is, I got him a tent, and then the dude like loses the fucking tent like 2 days later. And then because he got kicked out of like 3 places. He can't stay at his family's. He stayed at his other homies. He got kicked out, and then somebody else let him. And I was like, don't get kicked out of this place because like you're lucky you got this. And he got kicked out because he got in an argument and he got in a fight. So it's like, god damn it! And I went and stole him a tent. He actually paid me for the tent because I made him pay me for the tent, but I gave him a good deal. And then this nigga literally loses the tent 2 days later. And I'm like, you can't help people. So like he's dealing with that negative, dark energy that he needs to work on. From my perspective, I'm like, okay, this person got to sleep cold. He got kicked out and it feel he's mentally disturbed. And I try to help. And like other times I be helping and like, it's just like you can't help certain people in this world. Like that's one thing I've learned. That's one thing I learned this year. Is you cannot help certain people. Like you can see a person on the street with no fucking legs and he don't got shit. If his attitude is fucked up, you can't help that person. You have to just let him suffer. Like that's what I'm starting to understand and realize. Because people really, they gotta help themselves. And when you try to help somebody and they're not helping themselves, you're like helping them cheat. And that cheating energy is a dark energy. It's a negative energy. It's not positive. So you're going to invite some type of karma into your life where it's going to backfire. See, in my case, he lost the fucking tent. You see what I'm saying? And I end up feeling stupid, but he paid me for it. But like, and he tried to be like, oh, can I pay you? He was going to pay me fucking, how much you going to pay me? 20 for the tent. And then after he lost, he's like, can I pay you 15? I'm like, no, nigga, you pay me 20 for the fucking tent. This year, I didn't lose the 10, you lost it. And how he lost it, because he let somebody fucking hold on to it while he went into the store or some shit. It was some dumbass shit. It wasn't like somebody just, that's what I'm saying, but like, it's crazy. You can't help people in this world. Yeah, for real. Shout out to everybody in the room. Yeah, if you can share the video, because they shadow banning my shit. Can't believe they doing it. Well, I can believe it, but it's fucking annoying because I be seeing certain games and I feel like certain people are watching my shit. And they tried to ban my channel. I don't know if I told you guys this, but they they deleted my channel back in August. August of this year, they deleted my channel. They removed it. And I filed an appeal and then they gave it back to me. That's I'm like, how the hell do you remove my channel by accident? It's like they want to remove my channel thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna give up on it, remove it unfairly, and then just say, oh, he's gonna give up and whatever. And then I went and appealed it because it was kind of weird. Because let me just appeal, and then they gave it back. It's like they're trying to see like if I feel like that was a game they were playing because the way it happened and shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they're not watching my shit, but it's kind of weird, dude. It's just weird. I don't want to just say, oh, they watching or who really knows, but it's just I feel like they do got people that be watching like smaller channels and shit that to make sure they don't go viral, and they be kind of doing shit to make people they suppress certain videos because like it, YouTube is like it's like Direct TV or Tubi or Netflix. You got to look at YouTube like that. You guys think it's different. YouTube is different. No, Netflix is just like YouTube. Just like we look at Netflix, the people who run it, they're looking at YouTube like Netflix. Every time you delete an unprivate video, they have a database where they keep it, and then they watch all those videos to see why are people deleting videos, why are people privating videos. I want to see. So if it's something that somebody tried to get rid of, they can retrieve it and get the information. Or sometimes they'll these people that have a lot of information spiritually, they'll remove their video because they probably said something deep that they're going to use in their own witchcraft and ritual. So they'll delete the video so the information's not there, and then they'll go and do that type of ritual and talk about it, but then they deleted the person's video or some shit like that. Like they be doing some weird shit. Like they be watching YouTube because YouTube is the Netflix. So you got to look at YouTube like Netflix and Tubi and all these other like Direct TV. Like you got to look at YouTube like it. Millions of people have access to a platform that broadcasts video. You see what I'm saying? So just like millions of people can watch Netflix, millions of people can watch YouTube. But with Netflix, everything is vouched and verified. So it's all verified. It's vouched. So they don't mind it getting. That's why those views get those movies get like a lot of publicity and views and shit because they market it and they spend money marketing it. But with YouTube, they don't want it to be like that inadvertently, like indirectly, where it just happens. So what they have to do is have agents on here suppressing the videos and then fuck with the algorithm and shit. They shadow ban. That's what they fucking do. Like, see, I know, I can sense. I'm not gonna say I know everything that's going on, but I'm not no dummy. I'm not dumb because because me, a lot of people like to read books and watch YouTubers and stuff, which I do. But like me, I like to just study life, and I see patterns and I see the extreme details in life. And when I see certain things, I like to put two together and make up my own analysis of what's going on, because that's the best teacher is life. When you have experience and you see study people, like when you're looking at life and you wake up in the morning, you go look at it like it's a book and study every situation that happens when a person's talking. Look at the mindset they're in. You got to really study things, and then that's how you really learn with everything. even when you come to astrology, knowing how they act and seeing somebody real time, that's the best astrology teacher. Knowing somebody and knowing their chart and seeing them act over a long period of time. So imagine you see somebody who's an Aries moon, Scorpio, Sag, and Aquarius, Sun, whatever. Seeing that for like 3, 4, 5 years every day. You're gonna have so much knowledge about that sign and that symbol compared to somebody who just went on the internet or who just using, oh, well, Aries is a fixed sign. Aries is or you know what I'm saying? Aries is a cardinal. Aquarius is fixed, and they don't like to really talk to people. Like it's only limited. Versus you've seen this person, you can actually see situations and how they respond and react, even how they look, facial, and how they sound, how they talk, because all of that shit is astrology, because it's the mind, the body. It's all part of this dimension. It's not spiritual. So anything that's to the body, the mind is the body. That's astrology. So how you down to how you look, in a way, it's like that's all astrology. Yeah. But Moody Mercury, we're gonna have to do a live stream or something real soon, because I remember you told me you wanted to you were gonna hit me up about doing a live stream. So yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that situated soon. I just gotta clear up certain things. Yeah, I'm gonna be starting my fast tomorrow, and I'm this fast is gonna be a very different fast, and I'm gonna update you guys every day, even if it's just like 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to update you guys every day, because I want to. I'm trying to stick to not just my fast, but my energy exercises. The spirit told me I need to be doing energy exercises. I heard a voice in the morning a few nights ago that said energy exercise. Like I asked what I need to do. I just thought what I need to do, and I heard energy exercise. So that was me telling myself. It wasn't another voice. It was me, because I already know everything, but I just have to remember because I have forgot. So I'm supposed to be doing these energy exercises, and I've taken a break off the trading, because I'm not really in the right mindset to be trading. You don't really want to, especially when it comes to investing your money. You want to be careful when you're getting into certain investments like stocks, trading, and other things, because if your mind isn't right, you're gonna sabotage that shit. You're gonna fuck it up. And like I noticed when I was on, like, remember I showed you guys the trades I made money on. I was in a good mindset and I was on my fast when I did those trades, and then I had lost not a lot of money, but I lost a few hundred. And I was really pissed that I had lost that money, and then fucking, which is it's nothing because the amount of money I made, but like, because you when you doing this game, you're gonna take big losses and you're gonna take small losses. So it is what it is. But I think I was at like, how much did I have? Because I took like I took most of the money out of my account, only put two, and I only left like 200 in there. And it went up to 300, and then it went down to like fucking 70 because I made a mistake and I set the fucking thing, and then like hella almost empty my shit. So because you have to set the stop loss, and I fucked it up because I wasn't thinking right, and then I set it in the wrong spot, and then like wiped out my shit. Because if I had set it right, I would have still lost, but I would have probably lost like $40 or some shit. It's not that much, but since I didn't set it the right spot, it's not that I didn't know. It just I wasn't in the right mindset. I wasn't paying attention, because you got to be very precise on these markets. And I just put the wrong number, and it's like, because I wasn't fasting, and I was just high off some, just acting like a fool. So that's what manifested me that shit, and then I lost the money, and I was hella mad. And I haven't been trading since, because I'm like, let me get my mind right, and I want to keep the money I did make and get my shit right mentally. Because you got to get your mind right. And this is with anything, not just with the money shit. Because the stock market, the money, that ain't shit. Who really gives a fuck? I just doing that so I could have a way to operate in the system. Because you need money to fucking drive around and fucking move around and fly places and do fucking all this dumbass shit. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. And I'm not trying to work no dumbass 9 to 5. But at the end of the day, oh my goodness. Yeah. 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 Yeah, somebody just told me some. It's just the neighbor. He was just talking to me about some shit. But he said you drink water when you fast, right? Yeah, I drink water. When I first started fasting, like my very first fast, I did not drink any water. I did not drink any eat any food because the only reason I did this for like 6 to 7 months straight because I started my first fast. I think it was May 13th, 2019, and I did my first water fast was December 2019, sometime in December. I don't remember when, and the reason I did that was because I thought I can heal faster without food and water. But come to find out, it doesn't really matter when you're drinking water. Matter of fact, for all you guys that are starting, I don't know why I keep forgetting to mention this, but for all you guys that are starting, one way to get your energy up is drink salt water because you can't have sodium when you're doing your fast. Your body will still stay in a fasted ketosis autophagy state, whatever they call it, when you're healing your cells. It will stay in that state if when you are drinking salt. So you can add salt to your water. Sodium, you can add it, and when you add it, it will give you energy. It will curb some of your, like right now I can't drink salt because my body is so cleansed. If I drink salt during my fast, salt water, I'll throw up and I'll feel sick. So like I have to keep very cleansed. But if you're beginning and you guys get those hunger pains, you feel kind of lazy, drink some salt water. Put some salt. Like I'll get some sea salt and put it in some hot water and then drink it. Or you could put it in cold water and then just shake it and then just drink it. And then it will give you a little boost of energy. It will curb your hunger and your cravings down a little bit, and you'll be able to, it'll power you through your fast some more. So that's one thing I forgot to mention. You can drink salt water. Um, yeah, that because I did that when I did a 14-day fast. I did that throughout my 14-day fast. I remember I did that, and I only did that during that fast. Other than that, I never used it. And I did it because I was kind of feeling like lazy, and I when I did it, it made me feel a little bit more energized. Yeah, but yeah, when I fast now though, I don't just drink water like, oh, I gotta drink water. I just go, and I may make it 2 days, 3 days, 4 days without drinking any water. But then if I'm thirsty and I want to drink, then I drink. I don't sit there and just start drinking for no reason. Like, don't do that. Just do your fast. And when you get, and what I do is, even if I get a little thirsty, I don't drink. I wait till I get excruciatingly thirsty, then I'll drink. And usually that'll come like in, before it was a lot longer. Now probably like 3 days, 3 days, and I start getting thirsty when I want to drink. And then even when I drink, I don't need to drink that much. I'll drink, and then I'll be good. Because as you start fasting and you training your body, like you once you do eat, you're not gonna want to eat that much. Like I could go on a 7-day fast and I could break it, and I don't feel like eating that much. Because eventually, as you're on this path, you're gonna get to a point where food is gonna actually be poison to you. If you don't, there's this video I wanna share. His name is Jerome Shaw. It's a dude. He's a breatharian. I'm gonna show you the video. He says something that was crazy because he said that he ate because he went like I forgot how long. I think it was years without eating any solid. So he was just drinking liquids. And then when he finally ate something solid, his foot got hella swollen because all the sodium, and then the fucking, like, his vision just got different, and he just felt like he poisoned his body just by putting fucking food in it because he went so long without it. So he said when he ate that shit, it felt like he ate poison because because what happened was his body wasn't used to it. When you're eating all this shit right now, your body's used to it. But when you cleanse your body for years or even months in some cases from like solid food, then when you put that shit back in, you feel like it's poison, like you don't need it. So it's like that's you guys understand, like a lot of this shit is poison because you train yourself to eat. We all train ourselves to eat. Go to the Walmart and go to the baby section. You don't just see babies eat solid food. They eat baby food. They call it baby food. And then once they get to like 4 or 5 years old, then they go to McDonald's. They call it a kids meal. You see what I'm saying? These are different stages of food because they can't just give a kid a big ass meal. They can't give a baby a kid's meal. They can't. You see, it would be too much. So they have to train, and the body gets adjusted to it. See, like a lot of people, they don't look at life and learn like you will learn how. Even when somebody goes through get shot in the hood and they get shot and they throat or they get sick or somebody gets paralyzed, they have to learn how to eat, learn how to swallow all that shit because it's not normal. You have to learn how to do that shit. See what I'm saying? Like you have to learn how to like do that. It's not a normal like thing. You didn't just start eating steak when you were born. You ate like the little baby food and shit before you went to solid. You drink liquid because you say, "Oh, what about the mother's breast or whatever?" But that's a liquid. You see what I'm saying? When you were getting the baby food is not liquid. It's like a mixture of liquid and solid. It's like applesauce. You see what I'm saying? That's baby food. So it's like they're trying to train you to eat into like a dense state by mixing the liquid with the solid, and it's like applesauce and that texture, and then it gets the like harder little like the food is more like a soft. Or I have a soup. Like they'll have a canned soup, but they'll say soup for babies, like chicken noodle soup for babies. But what makes it different for babies than a regular is because it has different things that don't affect the digestive system as harsh because it's going to be too harsh. So they have to make the food that fuck with the digestive system as harsh. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not normal to fucking eat. Drinking liquids is different. Drinking liquids, but eating food and all the food's negative is bad for you. Like people say, oh, eating fruit. What about eating fruit and all that? The only thing you should take and consume is an herb, and um, that's if you're needing to heal something. Fruits and all that, the reason they heal, they can't have herbal effects. But the main reason fruits are healthy is not that it's healthy, it's healthier. So if you're eating Oreos and all this shit and it's all the chemicals going in your body, that's going to be damaging versus an apple, which doesn't have all those chemicals. But your body still has to go through the same process of digestion, which that takes energy. Like a lot of you guys say, oh, no fap, it's not good to do whatever. You know what I'm saying with the no fap shit. That with the food. Remember I said in my last video, food and sex is part of the same part of the brain. That's why animals they love food and sex. That's animalistic. That food and sex is regulated. So it's like you see what I'm saying. It's all connected. Darian, I'm not telling you guys like because that not everyone's built for this. Some of you guys need to eat. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if this resonates with you, you already know. I don't have to tell you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not forcing anyone. If anything, actually don't be one. So when I be one, it looks that much more like special and shit. The fuck. I'm not saying like that's what I'm just saying like just to joke around. Like I really don't give a fuck. Like if everyone had $1 million, then $1 million wouldn't be $1 million. $1 million would be like $1. Like fuck. Like I fell off now, so I eat chicken and eggs now. A lot of junk food. Yeah, you'll cut those out eventually. You just got to keep on this path, and eventually it'll phase itself out. But you have to do the exercises. That's what I really I want to promote is those energy exercises because a lot of people sleep on it. A lot of people sleep on it because they think what's important is not important because the society's got you thinking backwards. But then if you look at all the shit you think is important and you've been chasing it for all these years, like we got to remember, we like 4 years after the pandemic, and a lot of people are in the same situation, doing the same thing. So a lot of people are insanity because they always talk about, oh, everyone wants to say, oh, insanity's doing the same thing and expecting it different. But you got dumbass people. Like I heard this dude talking about, he's my age, and like this nigga made me feel like I'm like, in my question, I was like, am I that old? I'm not that old. And he's all like talking about he has kids and shit. He's like, oh, I'm hoping one of my kids. they make it in the NBA or hit the lottery and can take care of me. I'm like, nigga, you fucking 30, you in your fucking, you're not that old, nigga. You ain't that fucking old. And you weren't talking about you want your kids to take care of you and shit. Like, go, you can't go and manifest and do something. Like, that's why I don't understand. A lot of these niggas out here just, I'm like, it's just weird, dude. And then they manifest all that stupid shit. Like now your back is hurting you, your legs are hurting, now you're tired. And I get the fuck out of here with that shit, nigga. I feel like I'm fucking like literally in my early 20s, if not younger. That's why I don't look, cause I don't look like everyone says I look hella young and shit. Cause I don't even like I don't look at time the same way most people do. Like a lot of you guys probably looked at like this year goes by, this year like for me, 2 years ago felt like a few moments ago to me. It didn't really feel like it felt like I don't know. It didn't feel like a year, 2 years. It just felt like a different frequency. Like I'm just living my life. Like it felt like a few moments ago, 2 years ago was. So therefore, like I look at today kind of like it was 2 years ago in a certain way. So when I see certain things change, it kind of shocks me because my mind is still. Cause I gotta like adjust. It's just weird. So therefore, like I slowly age because it's like hard for me to like. I don't know. I can't explain it really. Like some things you just can't really explain. Like you try to explain. I still think about my Aquarius. I would like explain things that don't really need to be explained. Yeah, it's funny because Saturn's in Pisces and like, well, never mind. I'm not gonna even. It's not that important. I just noticed something, but yeah, yeah. But what I'm gonna do is I might make a Facebook group where I'm gonna just start doing like documenting, like if anybody wants to go on a fast or whatever, or like we do like certain group fasts or whatever, or just I'm gonna start doing that because I wanna take this. I wanna be held accountable for it. So like if I fall off, I can like I know that okay I have this group and I'm able to stay on track. Because sometimes I'll be falling off and I'm trying to stay on track. Then everyone else who wants to stay on track, they can stay on track too. So that's why I want to make this group, and we just got to document the fast and I don't even like the call. I hate that fucking word fast. I have to think of another word because I don't like using any of their programs. Like it's not even fast because when you say the word fast, then it makes you want to end it fast. You want to hurry up and get here fast. Some things don't need to be fast, so I don't want to program that shit into the reality. Like that's why I like to say Breatharian journey. Breatharian journey is like the best thing I got for it right now. But yep. Does anyone got any more questions? Yeah, let's see. I'll post. Let's see if I'll post the link if anybody got a few questions. The It's a link right here. Yeah, yeah. But like anyways, guys, like I'm saying, man, we gotta really get on this shit. Tired of seeing a lot of fucking ignorance in this world. I'm not trying to wake up the world though. That's one thing I'm not trying to do. I don't even give a fuck about the world. The world, you can't wake the world up. Anybody trying to wake the world up, you're wasting your time. So don't even try. You're gonna just be wasting energy, time, possibly money, depending on how much you're into trying to wake up the world. It's not even fucking worth it. Even when you look at some of these other YouTubers out here, they've done it, and you see how it worked out for them. Like, look at Nature Boy. Regardless of what he did and all that shit you don't say, this nigga actually got money and helped flew people out and put people and fed people and did all this shit. And like the same people like ended up turning their back against him and ended up throwing all that shit in his face. So it's like it just shows you really can't help anyone. Like people got to help themselves. And based on what I even told you about the story with me helping the dude, like you can't help no one in this world. So at this point, people just got to lay in their fucking bed. And like it's that type of energy why the government is allowed to get away with a lot of dumbass shit, because you got a lot of idiots that they're in a situation where they actually deserve a lot of the fuck shit the government does. So it allows like leeway and like room for the government to keep doing this stupid fuck shit. And then nothing goes, like it looks like why aren't they doing anything to them? They're getting away with it, but it's like the people actually are letting it happen. They can't wake up. Like they're just stuck like that. This is why like they don't, there's a depopulation agenda going on right now, because they literally see people as like a bunch of animals that need culling. Like when you go on a farm and then the animals mate too much and there's too many like fucking dogs, or so they gotta kill them so it doesn't overbreed. That's how they look at humans. And like the reason they look at humans, because really humans don't know shit. The only thing a human knows is what they've been programmed through education and through what the Masons have taught them, and they're not trying to break out of that programming. So it is like they're no use really, because anything that they say is just it's meaningless, because their whole where they're starting off, what they think they know is all bullshit. So it's like you can't even tell them anything. Like they're lost. Like the first thing that comes up. This is why I say that they are a bot is an AI. Now you guys see what I'm saying? Like a bot is an AI, because a bot cannot tell you anything other than its programming. Your grandmother can't tell you anything outside of what she's been programmed. She's not gonna come at you with some outer square information. It's just gonna be within the square. That, you see what I'm saying? That's like they have the fucking, when they graduate, the square, like because they squared the fucking mind. Like that's all they can tell you. And then the people who invented that square information, they know it's bullshit, and then they know it's stupid, but then the sheep will argue to them, if the sheep can even talk to them and be arguing like that shit's real. But it's like, nigga, I created this shit. That's how everyone is. So it's like shit is crazy in this. Oh man. This shit is funny. Somebody said it was a Japanese dubbing video based off of me. The fuck? Japanese? I don't think it's Japanese. The way Japan is, them niggas is so strict. Like in Japan, if you don't if you don't like go with the norm and the status quo is, because they got that place on lock. All the Asian countries, they got on lock for the most part. And if you don't go by the status quo, they will shun you. Like that's why the suicide rate is so high in Asian countries, because yeah, they don't have as much homelessness and crime in like China, Japan, but that energy has to go somewhere. It can't just disappear. So the crime and the that we have and all the ignorance you may say we have, it's transmuted over there in depression. And that's why and having a lot of pride, because a lot of people, they kill themselves because their family disowns them. They can't acclimate into society. Like us, when you see a bot, we don't give a fuck about the bot, because we like, fuck that bot. But in Japan, people who think like us, the way the programming and the way they have it set up, if they're a weak ass spirit, which 99% are, they're gonna look at it like there's something wrong with me, and I need to do something different. And if they can't fit in, and they get suicidal. Like that's why that's why Japan and those Chinese countries, they're fucking different, because like the Chinese person, the Japanese, that Asian phenotype, they're like they bred those type of people, I believe, to like to work, to be like worker bees and shit. That's why you got billions of them, and they're all work all, and they're all like crafty, and they build everything, and like, you see what I'm saying, like they're hella crafty and shit. Like, it's because I think that's what I'm thinking, like they bred them to, because it's hella weird. And then when you go to the country, they're so strict, and they're so fucking like um adherent to like tradition and shit, and not being disowned and shit. Like, they have it all blocked there, because the same people who run them, they run the people in America. So you can't look at it like it's a different people, it's the same. So you got to understand, like, why aren't they doing it here but they're doing it there? You got to look at it like that. Like, there's a reason they're not doing it here. It's not because like they can't or whatever. It's like, there's a specific reason. Because I'm willing to think if eventually maybe they might bring that shit, or they could. Because the way I look at it, I'm like, because you got something going on here. And then it's like, once the U.S. as outused its purposefulness, whatever its usefulness, then maybe another country, and then the U.S. will be like, I don't know, but it just, because you can already see the U.S. collapsing, and they're trying to give the power to these other fucking like countries and shit. So it's like, it makes you kind of think, like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, but shit is about to hit the fan though. You guys just gotta, yeah, just prepare for, like, it's not like it's gonna come one day. Like, one in this reality, when something gets good or gets worse, it's an accumulation. So when you build muscle, or when you are on your spiritual path and you're growing, it's slow. It's not like overnight. So like, the system is, it's fucked up right now. Like, look at it compared to 4 years ago. A lot of the shit that's going on right now, 10 years ago, if you said we're gonna happen, you have been like, this system is crumbling, and it's happening. So it's an accumulation, and it's very small. And then it's eventually, when it happens, you're not gonna know it happens. It's good because it's good at that time. It's gonna be so much shit going on. You're not gonna even be thinking about conspiracies like you're not gonna be like, oh, remember this time, because that's not how reality works. Reality works where you don't when you least expect it. So that's when it's gonna hit you, when you're not thinking about it, and when people are actually caught up in the shit. Because once the shit hits, then you're gonna be worrying about how to get your shit right. And if you didn't get it, it's like you're gonna be at a stage where you could get it right, but it's gonna be, you're gonna have to go through so much hell that most people, if you can't do it right now, then yeah, how like, it's like the best example. If you can't run 2 miles with, if you can't run 2 miles with your legs intact, how do you think you're going to run 2 miles with a broken ankle? It's like, I can't run 2 miles because I'm not that good at running. But then somebody breaks your ankle. Can you run 2 miles now? Oh, yeah, I could run it. Nigga, you couldn't run it before you had your ankle broken. So what makes you think you can run it? That's the type of energy. Like, if niggas can't get it right now, once the shit has so much energy, how would you get it right then? Because right now it should be easier. But bring that shit in the future, put all your mental illness and all the problems you have and all the regret and all the shit at the time, compare with the energy, you could have just get it done right now, compared to that time where you got to be dealing with all that shit and some. That's why I'm like, you can't help these people, man. And some of these people, you don't even want to help them. You want to help them, but you want to help them from a distance. Because I don't want to say you don't want to help anyone. Anybody who wants to get help needs to get help. But some people have a lot of darkness that, even if you help them, you have to help them from a distance, because they're so far in the underworld that you can only go so far down there. You don't want to have to go too much in the underworld and be too much in it. If they can't reach your hand, then I'm not going in that. So some people got some shit, they gotta work their way up so you can reach your hand and not have to go so deep in that underworld to grab them. So like, at that point, you just at this point, and the thing is, people are getting deeper and deeper in the underworld. It's not like you just stay in one place, and now you sink lower and lower in the underworld unless you try to get up. So a lot of people, they're sinking and shit. So it's like, they're even getting worse. So pretty soon you won't even they have to help themselves before you can even help them. So that's why I say, don't even help anyone at this point, unless like you're making an example. Like, the best way to help is to make an example. Because you can't. there's no cheating. Like we even sometimes when you just want to tell everybody all the information and you know it's gonna help them, sometimes like they're meant to maybe go through more experiences before they're even able to go on that. So it's gonna play out like they don't understand or they don't want to take heed to the message. And maybe they need to go through certain things so they can get into the mind frame to understand you. So they may have to go through something physical in the reality. And that needs to play out. And then that will give them wisdom to want to like sometimes that needs to happen. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this live stream right now. This is a good live stream. Yeah, I'm gonna end this one and yeah, I'm gonna go live when I start. I'm gonna start my fast tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm gonna start it, and then I'll go live probably the day after on day one, and then I'm gonna let you guys know every day. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on like my fast. If some days I may miss, doesn't mean I didn't fast. Some days I just may things may be going on, or I may forget, especially with time accelerating and not even really being able to do shit. All the things I need to do in a short period of time. Yeah, so I may not update her, but I will come back with the update because I'm gonna. This is gonna be a lifestyle I'm doing now. Like I told you guys in my last video, I'm at like not a crossroads. I've passed the crossroads, but like I'm just past the crossroads where I'm fully in it now, where I can't really. There's there's only the only way is up. That's the only way right now is up. Like they say, they look up. I don't know why they look up really, because who really gives a fuck? It's all the same shit. But that's the only way for me right now. Like a lot of things happen in my life. I'm not gonna say everything, but just things I've been formulating where like I can only go up right now, and um yeah, I'm just hoping that because I remember last time when I did my 7 day fast, I remember after day three, I was getting attacked. um like a lot of I just had a lot of attacks, like people want to start arguments, just a lot of like negativity that was directed towards me. And like because I don't know, like that last fast I noticed that happened, but it never usually happened to me. But that's an occurrence that can happen when you start fasting. You may get attacked and things may start happening to try to distract you off that path, because it's like it's a resistance energy. I don't want to say it's anybody doing anything, but it's a resistance energy that's there to test you. So you got to just keep strong when you're on it. So I'm hoping I don't get attacked, or like that, because it's just really fucking annoying. And I could tell it is because after day three, go watch my video. It's on this channel. I didn't private it. It was around July I made that video because that's what I did that fast, the beginning of July. So go check out that live stream. I was talking about um how when I did my fast, people were just attacking me, and I just arguments from family members, and just even though I was out in public, motherfuckers just I don't know. It just was weird, man. It was just hella weird. I have to watch the video, but it just. I remember some bitch pulled out in front of me, and then I cussed her the fuck out. I honked my horn in it. She trying to act all dramatic and shit. Like I honked my horn, and she's all scared, like she's about to get hit. I'm like, bitch, calm the fuck down. Ain't nobody hitting you. I just honked my fucking horn. Calm down. Like it's stupid shit like that. Trying to act all dramatic, like bitch, get the fuck out of here. Because you know when they see that situation and they see a black person, they're gonna try to act. They're gonna try to do the most and shit. So I'm like, bitch, stop acting all like crazy. It ain't that serious. Yeah, yeah, that should be good. Because how you shield yourself is you have to have you want to have a certain thought form and a certain mentality and a mindset when you're in public. Like when you if you feel like shit, you're gonna look like shit. There's a saying that goes like that. So you gotta use your mind as witchcraft. Like there'll be times like I'll be in a store, right? And when I had hella anxiety, I used to manifest negative shit because I have hella anxiety. Like years ago, I have hella anxiety, and I'll be in a store probably like concealing something, and I'll be thinking that somebody's around the corner. and I will think about it so hard. There'll be so many times where somebody will be around a corner right when I conceal it, and then they'll come right when it'll be so many times. But I won't they won't see me, but it'll be like I almost get caught type shit. But so once I fucking change my mind, the funny thing is, like, I stopped caring about her. I will make a rationalization like I'm picking up something from my grandmother, and she keeps calling me on the phone, and I'm in a rush. So I'll be in a rush looking, and then I have that energy. So therefore, it plays out like everybody. They pick up that aura where they don't think that I'm stealing because I have that aura of I'm getting something from my grandmother. So they don't fuck with me. I'm not saying that you gotta do that to everybody, but I'm just saying like take that example. You see how they fucking with my shit now? Take that example. I don't know if they were fucking with it. I just said that, but like, because I don't want to just keep saying it and it's very repetitive. But so like that's what you got to do when you're using like this mind tricks, like the trick. That's like small little things you can do, like just to. And when you think about it so much, it will shape it to like to be like. But it has to be something that can easily can't be like, oh, I want to see $1 million right here because there's not enough activity going on that's gonna produce it to be in that spot. Let's just say there's a lot of people walking around and you wanna fucking just because even like for example like I will manifest situations where I would see people and I'll see somebody and I'll be thinking about this person. It'll be like a female, she'd be fine. And then it'll be a weird situation where I end up coming back in contact with that person and like shit like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's the mind, you gotta have your mind in a certain frequency. And then it's gonna manifest. Not like thinking about it, you just gotta have it as your mentality kind of like this is what it is. Just like if I told you to go get something for me, in your mind, you're like, okay, I gotta go get this for him. That's as far as it needs to really go. So it's already on your mind. If somebody tells you, what if that guy told you? No questions. Oh, he told me to go get that because you already know. So that's what I'm talking about. Not like you got to think about it. Just you already said it. You know. Oh, I'm getting this from my grandmother. Oh, where the fuck is it? That's the type. Like do it with like let it flow and with ease. Don't be thinking about it. Just make it be like you just figured it out. See, that's some witchcraft I just told you guys right there. And you can do this with anything, and you'll see how the reality will formulate like that. People will talk to you different. A lot of the reason, like a lot of people, like people in school get picked on, is not really because of who they are. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't see the small midget running the whole prison D block. And the reason you see that is because people pick up the vibe. So somebody who's scared, people pick up on that. So they'll they'll um they'll prey on that. Somebody who think this is why they don't want you to think you're better than people, because when you think you're better than people on a certain level, you end up becoming that midget who runs the whole prison block. The person who's a small midget who runs the whole prison mafia gang, and he's like, how does this dude run all this whole, or how does this female controlling all this shit? Is because in their mind they look at everybody like a peon, and they feel that shit. So when they feel it, when other people go around them, they even if it's a person who's like they're all like some buff big person who may be a like way you'll think could beat this person up or got one up on them, they'll feel some type of way, and it'll be irrefutable for them to even act any other way because they're like, I feel this guy's energy, and the person with the energy will do and say things that will tap into the subconscious and the energy of that other person, that because it's a spiritual thing, it's not just physical, and then it'll just play out like they fuck with him and they take him serious, and then they'll even manifest certain situations where the big dude may be like, he may see the dude as a midget, he may see somebody kill somebody for that dude, and then he'd be like scratching his head, and he's able to observe that situation. He's like, you see, all that shit's taking place because it's the energy. He's able to manifest that. That's just on a dark ends. I'm not saying that you gotta kill people and all. I'm just saying like you gotta put your mindset in a certain vibration. Even when you're dealing with these bots out here, put your mindset based on how you like want it, and then that's gonna create an aura. Then people aren't gonna fuck with you. Like me, like the past week and a half, I don't know. Ever since I think Mercury went into Saturn, Mercury went into Sag, because Mercury is squaring my sun right now. So like that's probably why I'm getting really fucking disrespectful. And Moon is opposing my Venus. So ever since then, that's why probably the reason I'm getting really disrespectful. But and I'm trying to control that. But ever since that shit, which has been like a week and a half, fucking I haven't really been feeling like dealing with anyone like that. And on a level where like if you say something to me, I might end up cussing you out or not cussing you out, but I'm not gonna be very welcoming, pretty much. If you that's the type of energy I've felt this past week, because a lot of things that I just be needing to have to do, and just things that just been happening. So I just didn't feel like dealing with anyone. Tell me why motherfuckers, the same motherfuckers who usually always say something to me, they would just not say anything to me. They'll just walk by me. It's like they already know. And it's not like I'm like trying to fight. It just I it's like I'm kind of like I'm ready for smoke. So like if you say something to me, I'm gonna get really like, because I don't feel like dealing with these bots out here. So like they pick up on it. But the other times when I'm being more just like I'm feeling like happy and good, and I'm chill, relaxed, and I'm just doing my thing, and I'm not really feeling like negative. That's when they want to ask me questions and ask me favors and all this other bullshit. And then sometimes I'll give into the shit because I'm based upon how I'm feeling, which is like they'll get me when I'm feeling a certain way, so they can have them do these, because they know dead right now, they know not to ask me for a fucking favor. Like there's this one nigga always asking me for a fucking lighter. He'll always ask me for one. The time that I end up not having it, I'd be like, if this nigga asks me for a lighter, I'm about to really get mad. He didn't even ask me. He just fucking looked. What they want me to think, or what the average person would think, would be like, no, it's just a coincidence. He just didn't need one. Like, shut the fuck up. It ain't that important that when he needs one or he doesn't need one. That's not that important. What's important is though the actuality and the symbolism of what the fuck happened and what I'm doing. That's what's important. I don't give a fuck about no cigarette or he needed, because he can need to. He could have chose to smoke at any time. Why does he got to smoke when I want to smoke and ask me for a lighter every time? But today he didn't. So that has nothing to do with it. So that's just another example of like using your mind. This is why they want mind control. They want to control everyone's mind, because when they control everyone's mind, then you can't even use that power. And even when you use it, it's manifesting for them. Because everyone is under mind control. Everyone wants to talk about the celebrities. Oh, they're under mind control. Britney Spears and fucking, I don't know, Juicy J. All these fucking celebrities and shit. I don't know who people, whatever celebrity's cool, they'll say is under mind control. And then it's like, what about the mind control on the average person? Because they talk about celebrities are mind control through trauma, through what else is it? Symbolism, repetition, and all this other. They got handlers. Isn't that what the average bot has? They got handlers. When you grow up, you got parents that program you. Trauma. Most kids go through trauma. Even having going through birth is trauma. You know, because you're not supposed to be born through like the way they have birth in the hospital. So when you're born, that's a trauma. Why the fuck you think you're crying? Because that's a trauma. You traumatized. So everyone is traumatized based upon traditional ways of we give birth, because it's not even the normal way, the really correct way to do it, because the way the hospitals do it is backwards. So like that's everyone's traumatized. That's the first trauma is getting birthed into this world. That's the trauma everyone got to deal with. Then we have other types of trauma which correlate to the mind control. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's everything they say mind control. The average person goes through that, and it's up to you to break it. And then people act out their mind control, and they're workers for the government. Even some people, they go as high as working for the city and the city hall, the mayor, and all this other bullshit. And then they have the audacity to talk about the AI computer is somehow different from the average sheet. No, the AI computer is different from somebody who's speaking some real spiritual shit. Somebody who's just a dumbass bot, nigga. If they get their knowledge up and their awareness, then they can supersede it. But if they stay at that level, they're no different than that bot. You can talk to that bot and have a better conversation, because once they design it to be indistinguishable from human and like humanality, like you can't tell the difference from it other than unless you see that it is. At that point, there will be no reason to ever talk to anybody but that AI software. Then they're gonna make the government that, they'll make the clerk, everybody. The only person you'll talk to that's real will be your friends and your family. And if that's if they don't cut them away from you and shit. Because that's what they're eventually going to have the world. Everything's going to be AI. They're going to have AI CEOs, I feel. And that's if people don't wake the fuck up. AI CEOs, AI, probably AI government. They're going to probably do an AI president, but that's just too damn early. So it's too early to do it. So they're not going to do it. But maybe one day I think they're going to do a fucking AI president. But they have to really bring that shit in and program people and like to do it if they bring it. If people are stupid enough to bring that in, because it's got to be dependent on the people. But they'll bring it in right now if they could. But they're not that fucking retarded, because they know it's gonna actually make their shit worse. Because it's like, are you serious? Then everyone would know they're up to bullshit. So they gotta like kind of play with it and shit. They probably put like the little faggot one with the dresses like women, and then, or who is a woman but supposed to be a man. Well, then they'll do that, and then all this other bullshit just to get people's attention, because they need everyone's attention. Remember? But yeah, that AI shit's about to get out of hand, guys. You guys gotta be prepared for that shit. That's about to be out of hand. They're trying to replace people. They're trying to replace, like, just like you have the calculator or the phone, you didn't have to remember the cell phones. So now you had a cell phone to put your numbers in, so you don't have to remember the number. And then you had a calculator, so you don't have to do it with the, just like they had all that. They have a computer, you can do research, so you don't have to go on the phone book. With AI, it's gonna be that, but with other people. It's gonna be the people of the computer and the cell phone, and it's gonna be the human version. So they're gonna be replacing the human. So once they get it advanced enough, it's gonna be literally no different. Like in the future, if they get this shit advanced enough, you're gonna have to actually question if this video is AI, because this shit gonna be so fucking real. So it's gonna get that real. So that's why I'm saying, like, they're trying to replace humans and shit, and it's gonna seem so real. Like, you won't even be able to tell a human from that. Then it's gonna be like, especially how stupid people are nowadays, and nobody has no original fucking thought. So it won't be hard for a bot to even be more intelligent, because the bot will have like a Lucifer intelligence, like a demonic intelligence, where it knows a lot of precisions and aims and math, and it's like it's hella demonic. And so it's not no spiritual wisdom. It's just, that's what it's gonna have. And the average bot, it's gonna make the average bot, which is the average bot is Luciferian and demonic and low energy. So if that can do it better, if that could be a better devil than that, then it's like, you might as well talk to that shit. Because that's just a stupid. Don't, you guys may think, oh no, if it's a better devil, that means that's more spiritual. No, it's more retarded. It's like the retarded child and the normal child. They're both children, but one's just retarded. You don't get props for being retarded. That's actually worse. You gotta get through the retardation, then you have to go through that step, then you get then you get to be free. So you don't get it easy. Don't get your hopes up. Don't be too excited. You got school on Monday, or you got school in the morning. That's what my brother used to tell me every time. I used to be like laughing, and she'd be like, "Don't be too happy. You got school in the morning." When I was young, it was used to be just a joke. Though, you just joke around. Every time, like even to a point where we wouldn't even have school, but like every time somebody would be happy, we'll be like, "Oh, don't be too happy. You got school in the morning." But it would be like a joke. Because I remember I said that shit. Like fucking. Oh no, I don't want to get into that. It's no point really. He said, "Man, bro, these 9 to 5 jobs really do drain the fuck out of your energy." Yeah, that's why I don't work them. Yeah, I haven't worked one since 2015. I think it was a 2016. This is like the last one I did. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. It's just too damn much. And nowadays, it's just I can't. I remember I helped one of my relatives move not too long ago, and it was like a week long thing, and that was like a 9 to 5 for me because it was like all day we had to do it for like not a week for a few days, and it was like I looked at that, that was a 9 to 5, and I'm like, so I was able to feel the energy that people have to go because it was from like sun up to sundown we were moving, and it was like 3 or 4 days we did this shit. I got paid for it, but I helped them move, but it was like damn, people do this shit. I was like, and I got home, I'm like fucking like it's not that I'm drunk because I can still do what I gotta do. It's just mentally it's draining. It's like damn, and then you gotta do all this shit, which even like if you have the energy to do it, you still can't put in the same. Like some people are like, well, when you come home, work on your dreams when you come home, which that's correct, you can. But imagine all that energy you saved up from not going to work and you put it into your dream versus having to go work 8 hours and then having to get that remainder and put it into your dream and then do all this. You're not gonna. It's not gonna be as you can still do it, but it's gonna be a lot. Take a little longer than if you were able to free up that time. This is why they don't want like people that like they want you to keep working for the system and shit, and they don't want you to stack up your money, and that's why they don't pay you that much because they don't want people to get paid a certain amount, and when they pay you, you just quit and then do your own thing. So that's why I like a lot of you niggas say, oh, why is it McDonald's? They can pay everybody $50,000 a year and still make money. It's the you look at it like it's money, but money to them is human beings building their system. So how we see a dollar bill, their dollar bill is a human being getting off their ass and doing something to provide something. So like that's why they can't pay, because if they pay everybody that money, you looking at it like, oh, they're giving us all this money, it should be good, but then everyone's gonna quit or people gonna call off, and then they won't have nobody to work these stupid ass jobs because they have to have like there has to be some type of trauma and like traumatic bond that helped build this system. Like you can't build it without somebody like taking a loss. Somebody has to take a loss for this shit to be built. Whether their time, their energy, their money, like somebody has to go without. Because and then when everyone's going with and they're able to do that, then they're gonna be the ones taking the loss. So somebody always has to take a loss, but they're gonna be the ones taking it for. So they gotta create the system because it's their systems. So they're gonna make it where the people take the loss. That's all really it is. You say, yeah, but if you work in a 9 to 5 and you don't want to work there, I suggest you just start finding other like first find out what's important, what's the most important thing in your life you need to be doing. Some of you guys probably need to quit that shit, and if you quit, you may get supported and things might happen. And so you need to find out what's important because a lot of you guys may have health problems or health issues. And until you get fix that, nothing else is going to work in your life. This is why a lot of people feel stuck because you guys are lacking the most important, one of the most important things to help you even be able to be on your spiritual path. Because if you're not alive, then you ain't going to be able to do what you got to do. And a lot of you guys are about to like die and you have diseases and problems you need to cleanse. So once you're cleansed, then you can go to the next. And that's why, because if you get this shit before you do what you got to do, you're going to be too lost into that and be distracted. So you need to cleanse. And then by the time you cleanse, you're going to be in a different mindset. So by the time you do get the money and the desires you want, you're not really going to give a fuck about it, or you're not going to see it the same way, or because your mind frame is going to change. You're in a different mental space. So you're not going to see it the same way. That's how you can tell that you, that's why it's like, not you. Yeah, you just got to know what the fuck you're doing. Can't really explain it any more easier than that. Yeah, what those 9 to 5 jobs are meant for is for you to work, stack up money, and then you leave. They're not meant for you to be working there your whole life. You think the reason you guys sit there and just work for your bills is because you guys are around a bunch of people who are no lives. They're low lives. They don't have no life. They're like they're under that mind control program that I'm supposed to work 40 years, and so they're low lives. They don't have no they don't have no fucking they don't think for themselves. So when you're around that energy, you think that shit's normal. That shit is not normal. You're wasting your fucking life. Like the older you get, the more you're gonna fucking realize that. Especially a lot of people that you in your 20s and early 20s and teenagers, and like you think you have a lot of time and shit because like, everybody tells you, "Oh, you're young, you got the whole world," and you hear that and you think that's what it is, and it's not really like that because you supposed to been already had your shit done by like 12 and 13. You're supposed to know what you're supposed to be doing and getting on it. So if you're like 20 or 18 and you still not on it, then you still kind of late. So you got to really, and then with time speeding up, you don't have the same amount of time as a lot of other people did in terms of you getting up in age and whatever, because we're not going through the same 24 hours in terms of how it actually feels. I'm not going to go all technical and say, oh, but it doesn't feel like 24 hours. So you can come to your conclusion that it's just less than 24 hours in a day. So a year is not a year. So eventually, so you don't even have as much time as you think you do. If you want to look at it in years, if you want to take years and all that out, then that's different. But I'm talking like everyone looks at Gregorian calendar and all that bullshit. So if we're looking at that, you don't have that much time looking at how fast this shit is going because it's already November. That's crazy. And it's weird because like it just is weird because the way that the time it just acted, a lot of things I thought I was supposed to do this year I didn't do. And it's weird how like it's like the year's almost over. So it makes me realize that you gotta just right now is when you're supposed to start and do what you gotta do right now. There's no tomorrow, no like this is why I don't even like to every time I say I want something to happen, I never put a date on it. Cause when I put a date, it doesn't come true. So I just say I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and then it's gonna happen when it happens. I don't like to make dates and shit. Cause I notice when I do that shit, it doesn't fruition and then I get upset and then yeah, a lot of the 9 to 5 job they do fuck up your health. And if you guys who work in a cash register or you work in a any 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 facility or any area where you have that red barcode light, you know when you scan the barcode, the UPC on the back of the product to like ring up the price, that red light is fucking as hazardous. If you shoot that shit in your eye for a sustained period of time, that shit will make you go blind permanently. If you shoot that on your skin long enough, that shit will radiate your fucking skin and cause you to have heart palpitations and it'll pretty much boil your blood and shit. Like that shit is fuck if it's on you for a long period of time. That shit is fucking dangerous and in low doses, that shit's still harmful and it can fuck with you long term. Because I see people when I be going to the cash register, I be seeing the light be all on their gut area and it be staying there. And these niggas are sitting up there hours on in a day. And I'm like, this shit is dangerous. Because I remember I went into one of them. They were shooting a lot of that light. I was at working at the warehouse when I was working that bullshit 9 to 5. They were shooting that bullshit, and a lot of it went on my body, and I felt hella sick and shit. So like that whole day I just fucking left. I quit. That was like one of the days I just quit. I walked the fuck up out of there. I didn't even come back to that shit. And that wasn't my last place I worked because this was back in like 2014. It wasn't my last place because I worked somewhere else, but I just left that fucking place. So like any of you guys work around that, and even when you go, that's another reason I don't even like fucking paying for my shit because I don't even like that barcode. Because when I go around that shit, it feels weird on my hand. Like I don't even like going. I don't even like going to self checkout because that shit be blaring on you, and I feel the radiation. And I don't even like it. Used I like sometimes I don't feel it, but sometimes I feel that shit, and I don't like that shit. I don't like going around that crap. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, but I was already speaking about time speeding up. Yeah, I just said what did I say. I just said it's craziness. It's not craziness, but like it's crazy. Like the actually witness it is crazy. Like actually witnessing it. Cause it's gonna keep going too. I don't think it's gonna slow down. And you notice how when you go on the internet and you type in time speeding up, you know they have a website called Snoops, and it's a government website. And anytime there's a truth out there that the government doesn't want to be disclosed, um they'll put whatever theory that they're talking about, and then they'll say if Snoops says it's true or if it says it's false, and like that's supposed to be a fucking tool we use to dictate what's true or false. But some of these dumb sheep, they believe in this shit. That's why they have it. So it said time speeding up by Snoops. It's like false. I was like, what the fuck is false about it? You don't feel this shit? So when I seen that, it made me kind of think like, okay, like why do they want people to like not know about this, even though it's evident? And it's like, and then they talk about it a little bit because they said the earth is speeding up and a day is shorter by like 0.3 milliseconds or some dumbass shit like that. That's how short the day is. It's only short by 0.3 centimeters seconds or milliseconds. Like that's how short the day is. Like me and you are experiencing the same day, and you see how fast time is going. That feels way shorter than just zero point 0.3 milliseconds or whatever bullshit they're trying to say. And they're trying to say the Earth is speeding up. That's why time is speeding. Yet the fucking Earth, if you even like have common sense, and there's a lot of YouTubers on here that debunk that stupid shit. It ain't there ain't no Earth is not what you see it is. It's not flat. It's not round. It's none of that shit. It's just it's a place we're at. So it's nothing to do with it spinning or any of it because we're in it. This is it. It's not nothing like what you guys think. So it's fucking like this shit is. So like we see time speeding up hella fast, right? And they sit there and say that Snoops is false. What's false about it? That's why I don't understand. Like what's false about it? What I think is going on is they don't want people. They know it's gonna fuck up the system because remember they say time is money, and if time speeding up, that means the money has to change. Maybe that's part of the reason they're doing this digital currency. That's what I'm starting to think. Because you notice how they said they're gonna bring out digital currency, but they haven't brought it out yet. When they say they're gonna bring something out, but they haven't done it, the reason they say that is because they're waiting for a specific time. So they're gonna probably wait for a specific alignment, for a specific day and the energy, or when the people are ready, and then they're gonna release it. And what I'm thinking is, as time keeps speeding up, it's going to change society work because they already talk about 4-hour work weeks. Why are they talking about 4-hour work weeks right now? Maybe it's because of this, and then they don't want people to know about it because they know it's going to fuck up the system, or they're going to have to change the system or some shit. Maybe that's the reason they're creating all these AI to replace all these people because people won't even have the time to physically go to these dumbass jobs anymore without going. Like maybe they will, but it's going to be so mentally grueling that people won't even want to do it, or it won't be feasible because the vibe, the energy we're going to probably be in. Yeah, it's crazy. And even with time speeding up, it actually changes your priorities really, because a lot of people are trying to, they want to live for the weekend. Oh, I'm trying to work and go have fun, or I'm trying to do this, but it's like at this point, the way the world is, we got to be on our shit doing what we got to do because this is the best energy to get extremely difficult tasks done, such as mastering yourself. This is a good energy. It's like the best time. It's actually going to be easier to master yourself on a if you're that's if you're focused, because it's like the energies is pushing us to be doing that. So you just gotta see. Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. This was a good live stream. It's a good live stream, but yeah.